Hi guys, so I'm here to do a recent favourites video, a selection of some of the things that I have been getting a lot of joy out of over the past few months. I know a lot of you have been missing my monthly favourites videos, which I used to do on a regular basis, but if I'm being perfectly honest, I haven't wanted to make favourite videos. However, I do feel like sort of over the sort of Christmas period and going into the new year, there have been some things that I've loved and have brought me joy. I don't know if this means I'm bringing back monthly favourites, but I might bring back sort of quarterly favourites and just do them as and when I feel like it. But yeah, as you can gather, despite this very long introduction, I have some things that I want to talk to you about. I have everything from books and TV shows to makeup and types of tea and many more. So without further ado, let's just get into it, shall we? So the first thing I have to show you is something I got as a Christmas present from my mum, and it is my new portable vinyl player. So this is a vinyl record player. It plugs into a mains outlet and it plays LPs. It plays albums and singles, and it's from the brand Bush. So I asked my mum for this for Christmas for one main reason, and that's that my dad was a massive music lover. He just absolutely adored music and owned over 500 records that he'd been collecting since he was much younger than I am now, and had continued to locate cheap ones in charity shops and things like that, something he really enjoyed, and I wanted to be able to listen to some of those records, some of the ones that remind me the most of my dad. So to do that I needed my own record player, and my mum very kindly got me one for Christmas. And one of the things I want to say is that this was such a good deal. I could not for the life of me pick which record player I wanted to go for. There are so many ones out there and there's so many different bits of information on how you should pick your record player. Now, I didn't need something that had the most spectacular sound quality in the world. I'm not planning on hosting clubs in my flat. I just wanted something that did a good job of playing the music that my dad loved, and this is actually the cheapest one that I was looking at, and I didn't pick it because it was the cheapest one. I picked it because a friend of mine had bought this one for their brother in real life. So I felt like I had a real life review from somebody I trusted who had experienced the quality of this, and they said it just did the job and that's all I wanted, and it was under £30. So if you are looking for a record player and are finding that a lot of them are sort of more in like the 70 to 100 realm, especially if you're looking at the Crossley ones, this is great. As long as you don't need something with Bluetooth or that will transfer your records onto your computer. This can have speakers attached to it more traditionally, but honestly the built-in speakers are fine. It does a wonderful job and I'm so pleased with it. So this was just a fantastic Christmas present and I wanted to mention it to you all. But to jump to the opposite side of the spectrum, the next thing I want to mention is some tea. So this is Organic India's the original Tulsi collection, antioxidant rich it says. So Tulsi Tea is one of my favourite types of tea. Pukka do this one that's just called 3 Tulsi, which I've been drinking for years and I love it. It's such a nice tea, and I recently discovered this brand in a shop, which is the Organic India Tulsi collection, and this has a range of Tulsi mixed with other thing teas. So it includes the original Tulsi, Tulsi Ginger, which is my favourite, Tulsi Brahmi, Tulsi Masala Chai and Tulsi Green Tea, which I'm also a big fan of. They all taste amazing, and I just love this type of tea. And it's a tea that I discovered completely randomly, so there's a good chance some of you will not have drank it before, and if you are even vaguely interested in herbal teas, it's one I would highly recommend. It tastes amazing. It doesn't have any caffeine in it, so you can drink it in the evenings if you try to avoid caffeine in the evenings, and I just absolutely love the taste of it. I don't know what else to say, given that it's a tea. How else can I recommend it to you? But I'm really pleased to have discovered this sort of set of mix and matched Tulsis, which I've been really enjoying exploring. If you can't find this though, the 3 Tulsi from Pukka is also amazing. All great. Would highly recommend Tulsi Tea in general. Next I'm going to mention a book, and that is Women and Power by Mary Beard. This is such a little compact book. It's under 100 pages and it's essentially a collecting together of 2 different speeches or papers that Mary Beard delivered in written form for people to read, and I thoroughly enjoyed this. I think it's such a nice, easy way into discussions around feminism and women in the modern world, and the history of attitudes towards women and how they have impacted women today, the history of a lot of the attitudes that we experience today as women anyway. And of course this is rooted in classics because Mary Beard is a classicist, and I love anything that draws on classical references. I find it very relevant to me as a female classicist, but this book isn't solely for classicists. It very much goes beyond antiquity and is very much focused on the modern day. So it's for everybody now, and like I said, just the short form makes it really accessible, I think. So I was really pleased to read this. It kind of surpassed my expectations actually, and I would highly recommend giving it a shot. Next up I'm going to mention a film though, and this is a film that I watched either at the end of December or the beginning of January with my mum around Christmas time. Over Christmas my mum ended up having kidney stones, and we spent a few days in and out of A&E and hospitals, and it was really stressful, which was just the icing on the top of what was already going to be a pretty crummy Christmas. But we did rewatch one of our favourite films, so I thought I would mention that here, and that is Maiden Dagenham. So I saw this film when it originally came out in the cinema with my mum, and this was the second time I've ever gotten around to watching it, and oh, did it make me feel all of the feels and all of the power. Oh, it was so brilliant. I'm so glad I rewatched it, and I think I want to rewatch it again sooner. Maiden Dagenham is based on the true story of the Ford machinist women strikers who went out on strike in the UK because their work was being deemed unskilled, and thus they were getting paid less than men. And this strike was very much one of the major steps in leading to the Equal Pay Act in the UK. And now there still exists a gendered pay gap in the UK, however, that's not to say that this was not a massive victory and that we haven't made progress, and this film is so empowering, so inspiring, and just incredibly well done, well acted, nice soundtrack, great visuals. So all in all, everything you could possibly want from a cinematic experience, and if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend checking it out. I do also have a TV show though, for those of you who are interested, and that is The Good Place, which is set in the afterlife. So our main character, Eleanor, has found herself in the good place of the two options there is in the afterlife. However, it turns out that she's not supposed to be there. She has been mistaken for another Eleanor and has accidentally ended up in the good place and was meant to be in the bad place. So it's about her trying to stay hidden in the good place and go unnoticed, and perhaps actually trying to become somebody that deserves to be in the good place. But it is a comedy sitcom. It's so funny, and I cannot express to you how funny it is. You just have to go and watch it for yourself. There is such an amazing cast of characters. Eleanor and her soulmate, Chidi, are absolutely brilliant, but they are surrounded by many fantastic actors and characters. So if you haven't yet watched The Good Place, although I'm sure you've probably seen it around, I know a lot of people have been hyping it up on the internet, I would suggest you finally give it a go, because I haven't met anybody yet who didn't enjoy it, and I am so sad that the 2 seasons are wrapped up now, and I don't know how long I have to wait until the 3rd season, because that ending, guys, that ending, so good. Next up, let's move on to some stationery. I have to show you this notebook, which you might have seen in a recent stationery haul I did, and this is a Filofax notebook, a recent discovery of mine. I did not know that Filofax did notebooks, and I am in love with this. I thought I was going to like it when I bought it, but I had no idea how much I would enjoy using it in my everyday life. And it has very much just become my everyday notebook. I have different sections in this that I use for different types of things because it came with little like dividers. We've got 4 different coloured dividers that came with it, but one of the really nice things about this notebook is that it is so customizable. It came with 4 dividers and a packet of lined paper, which you saw there. It also came with a few sheets of blank and squared paper, just to give you an idea if that's something you're interested in, and everything in this book just literally pops right out. So if you want to take a piece of paper out, if you don't like what you've written on it, or you just want to carry it with you and then put it back in, it all just slots back in. And that's the same with the dividers, and obviously, like I said, very customizable, and the paper is gorgeous, perfect line spacing, all the things you want from a notebook, and I've just been thoroughly enjoying this. It's also ring bound, even though it doesn't look ring bound necessarily, it is, which means you can fold it over, which is a massive plus for me with a notebook. I think everything about this is perfect, and I love it. And because it's customizable. You can take paper out, put paper in. It's something I think I'm going to have for years, and just get rid of paper, add more paper in, get rid of paper, add more paper in, which means that although I think it cost me around £10 or £12 originally, the packets of paper are like £2, so I'm not actually buying a new notebook every time I finish this, and I'm hoping it will become a staple part of my life. Love it. Moving on, next in my random selection of goodies, I have 2 bits of makeup. So first up is a highlighter. I have very much recently gotten into highlighter. I don't know if you can tell, I do have some on just now. Do I glow? Do I glow? I don't know what it is. I think I've been watching a lot of Tati, who is a American beauty guru, and her videos are amazing. If you don't watch her already, another favourite for sure. But she always has brilliant highlighter, and she made me want to wear more highlighter. However, I wanted something a little bit subtle. I didn't want something too bling bling in your face. I don't think it would match with my everyday aesthetic. So I tried to look for something a little bit subtler, like I mentioned, and this was one that I actually saw recommended on her channel, and it's the e.l.f. highlighter in the shade Moonlight Perils, and it wasn't very expensive. e.l.f. isn't a very expensive brand, but yeah, it's a highlighter. So it's something you just put on your cheekbones or any high points on your face that you want to highlight. I only do it on my cheekbones, but you could put a bit like under your eyebrows, or I don't know, I'm not a beauty guru, but there's other places you can put it. And I have just been wearing this pretty much every single day. It has become a staple part of my makeup routine, and I've very much been enjoying it, so what can I say, it's definitely a favourite. I then have a tinted moisturiser. This is the La Roche-Posay Effect La Duo Unifant Tint Light. So this is a skincare product that La Roche-Posay do for people with oily, acne-prone skin, but with a tint in it. So if you get the normal one, you can use it just like a sort of moisturiser or a serum. I'm not quite sure which one it's supposed to be, and this is one that they've put a little bit of colour in, and I now use it as my base product. After my moisturiser, I put it on like a foundation. It just gives my complexion a beautiful, even glow, and I love it. And one of the things I always strive for in my makeup routine, despite having a lot of acne scarring and still breaking out and things like any of the things you get when you have really oily, acne-prone skin, is that it's not all bad. This bit of my skin, no spots, not really any scars, because it's never been spotty. Despite how much aggravation my skin gives me, there are usually areas which are fine, and I don't want to mask those areas in tons of makeup. I'd rather use a very light coverage base like this with a heavier concealer or foundation only on the areas where I feel like I want a little bit more coverage. So like I have a little bit more coverage here, got a little bit more on my forehead, but overall I just want something like this that's glowy and nice, and this has been perfect. I've tried a lot of tinted moisturisers, but often tinted moisturisers are not aimed at oily skin, so this is perfection. But moving on, finally, I want to share with you some clothes. Now, this top I actually wore recently in my how to apply for a PhD video, which if you haven't seen I will of course link, but a few of you commented on it in that video and also on an Instagram story that I posted it in, so I thought I'd mention it here because I love it and I think lots of you will love it, and it's this top from Topshop. This is a slightly cropped black long-sleeved t-shirt, so I wear this with high-waisted things, and it's just got a lovely rainbow design across the front. I feel like it's perfect LGBT plus History Month attire, which is February in the UK, and then it says be happy, and I just love it. I just think it's super cute, very much enjoying it, very comfortable, but I feel like has a nice bit of style to it, and I thought, like I said, you guys might be interested in it. If I do have one other piece of favourite clothing, it's actually the t-shirt I'm wearing. Again, this is a very simple t-shirt. It's cropped and it's from New Look. It's long sleeved, it fits really nicely, and I love the stripe design. I feel like stripes can be done so well or so badly, and I love the stripes and the colours on this. I have been wearing it non-stop. I wear it, I wash it, I wear it again constantly. It's on multiple times a week underneath so many different things, so I like to wear a lot of dresses and things that can be layered over t-shirts, sort of pinafore style. This one is a slip dress from Urban Outfitters, and this t-shirt has just proved perfect for that. If you're interested, this t-shirt is also a favourite. But I think that's everything. I think I have covered a wide array of different things, and hopefully all of you have found something that interested you in this video. But I just like to talk about the things I've been enjoying. If if I can think of them, if they strike me as things I would like to talk about and share with you. So it has been nice doing a recently favourites video. I'd love to hear from you if you have any thoughts on anything I've mentioned in this video whatsoever. I would also in particular love to hear what your favourite types of herbal tea are, and if you have any other film or television recommendations that you think I would like based on Maiden Dagenham and The Good Place, because I am always looking for more stuff to watch, because all I'm doing at the moment is rewatching Diagnosis Murder for the 100th time. Yes, I am that person who owns them on DVD. But until next time guys, happy reading, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye!